Well, since we talked to you, so I think you're the only person in the NFL who is in two protocols at the same time. So can you take us through both, through the concussion and then with the COVID, and just which was more difficult for you, and just kind of lay it all out for us if you could?
Yeah, obviously dealing with the concussion, it was the first one for me. So just going through that protocol and just trying to get back feeling normal and everything. And right when I thought I was feeling normal, COVID, I got hit with COVID, and so then had to go through that protocol too before I could even get cleared from the concussion and everything. And so it was a crazy 3 weeks for me, but I'm glad to be on the other side of it. I'm glad to be back with everybody and through those 3 weeks.
What were your symptoms with each one? What were you experiencing with the concussion, and how long did that play out, especially since it was the first time you had it? And then once you realized you had COVID, how did that go?
Yeah, I think with the concussion, first time, so just dealing with the different symptoms, headaches, and different things that can come with the concussion. But by the end of that week, I thought I was feeling pretty good, and was expecting to hopefully get cleared for the next game against Pittsburgh. And then I ended up getting the COVID. It hit me hard the first day that I had it, and then it gradually started feeling better. And then by the end of it, I was ready to get out of quarantine and get back up here.
Did you lose smell and taste, or was it primarily just respiratory? And
yeah, I mean, I eventually lost smell and taste. Early on, that's not what I had, but by the end of it, I did lose my smell and taste, and still trying to get that back.
Was there any point at the beginning, given that you hadn't experienced concussion before, that you're like, how do I differentiate if this is still concussion symptoms or if something else is going on with me? Yeah,
and I think just with dealing with the concussion, that kind of led into the COVID. It's like by the end of the week, I really wasn't getting headaches as much, and then when I got COVID, headaches started coming back, and it was a different kind of headache. So at that point, I felt like that was more from the COVID symptoms rather than the concussion. But then, being out the amount of time, not that you want to be out as long as I was, but just from first time having concussion, I had the 3 weeks to kind of heal up and not take any hits and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, there is a little bit of a blessing in that if you want to find the positive in it. But needless to say, I was happy to be back in the building and happy to be back with everybody.
Did it impact your family?
You ever find out how you got COVID while you were in the concussion protocol? Was it contact? How did that come about?
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
Did it impact your family at all? Did you have to obviously you had to stay away from your wife and kids and everything?
Yeah, I distanced away from them, but my wife ended up getting it, and one of my sons got it. So, I think it's just kind of how it was. But my oldest son and my youngest daughter, they did not get it. So, just kind of how it goes.
Everybody's good now.
Everybody's good now. Yeah. So we're all healthy and back to normal.
Were you disappointed at all that John? Were you disappointed at all that John Bostic didn't get suspended for that hit on you?
With that whole thing, I just looking at some of the fines and different things that other people got, I was a little surprised by the number, but it is what it is.
What do you remember about that day? I mean, especially given that you hadn't had a concussion before, how much of the game do you remember in that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, most everything that led up to getting hit, and so I remember deciding to slide, and then there's a little bit there that I don't remember, but everything after that point, once I started to get my memory back and everything, I remember everything that happened after that.
How scary was that, not be able to remember some of it?
Yeah, I mean, in the moment you don't realize it, but then after the aftermath of it all, you're kind of going back to realize that you're missing some of your memory of stuff that happened. I mean, that's definitely something that you don't want to have happen.
Conditioning-wise, how are you feeling, and what were you able to do in those 3 weeks as you're dealing into the concussion and during COVID?
Yeah, for me, I was just trying to listen to everything. With the concussion stuff, by the end of it, I was able to get back and do some work. And then when COVID hit, I obviously had to sit back and rest for a while. And then, by the end of it, I was able to do some stuff. Obviously, I just at my house, and I couldn't be around anybody or anything. But I was able to do some stuff at my house just to try to get back, working out and doing some things that, allowed me to stay in it.
How would you describe your level of frustration? Because obviously this was a position you signed to be in, and now with two things you've never had before, you couldn't do it. And when did you actually get back up here to start kind of getting back into the routine?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little frustrating. You missed the one game because of the concussion, first time dealing with that, and then the COVID. It's like it all kind of hit at once, and so I wish I could have been out there. I wish I could have played in the 2 games that I missed, but it kind of is what it is, and so I went through all the protocols with the COVID, and I think I got back at the it was Thursday of the bye week. And then at that point, I had to get cleared from all the concussion stuff, and so had to go through all the steps and all the protocol for it all.
How was the communication like as you're away and you're talking to Danucci and then obviously Gilbert? How did that communication go with you three guys?
Yeah, I mean, I was around some for Ben. I was kind of in and out just with the concussion, and then with Garrett, I was watching everything from home. I could talk to him. I texted him a couple times, just watching everything. And I thought Garrett played really well. It was for him to step in, only being here for a short amount of time, and to play like he did. He gave us a shot in that game, and so it was fun to see Garrett with the limited amount of time being here to play as well as he did.
The few times that you haven't played a full 16, Andy, it seemed like it was at the end of the year. This looks like the first time where it was sort of interrupted. What do you see as the challenges of kind of getting yourself back in the groove?
I felt like just kind of getting back out here, and by the end of all the protocols, I got back throwing again and just trying to get timing and stuff down. And it's been a great week of practice so far. So. I feel good about where I'm at and where we're at as a team and moving forward.
For clarity, you said your wife and younger son also contracted COVID-19. Did they get that after you or before?
They got it after I did. Everybody was quarantining kind of all at the same time, and they happened to get it a couple days after I had it.
Considering your time with Mike Zimmer in Cincinnati, is there familiarity with their scheme, if not their personnel, that can help you coming into this game?
Yeah, obviously I was with him for my first 3 years, and then he got the job in Minnesota. So, I have some familiarity with it, but things change and adapt over time, and these last 7 years, there's been some changes in different things, but I definitely. Know him from my early time in Cincinnati.
What's your message to the guys with you all sitting here at 2-7, but still having a shot in the division?
Yeah, everything's out in front of us. That's the crazy thing with how this season has gone, and some games that we felt like we had chances in. All that stuff doesn't matter at this point. Now we got to move forward. We got to think about these next 7 games, and. That's all our focus is what we have in front of us.
Do these 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, whatever it's been, seem like 3.5 or 4 years?
It felt like a long time, especially when you can't leave the house and you've got 3 kids at home too, and you and your wife are dealing with everything that we were dealing with. So like I said, I was happy to get back into the building, back to work, and to get out of the house.
It's understandable where the offense is now. I mean, there have been 4 different quarterbacks in the last 5 games, but as you sat back and watched the last couple of games, what are some things you can point to in the offense besides just turning the ball over that this offense really needs to do to kind of get back closer to where it was earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think most important is taking care of the ball. You said besides taking care of the ball. I mean, I think that's the most important thing for us. I think we do that, and it gives yourself a chance in these games. We're not setting ourselves behind. I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Worry about us and worry about what we can control.
Out of curiosity,
Hey guys, this has got to be the last one.
What you said before, you haven't fully regained your sense of smell or taste. What exactly is it like today when you're trying to, taste something or smell something? And are there any other symptoms that are not quite, that kind of linger still today?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. I'm starting to get it back. It's like you can tell things are sweet, you can tell things are salty, you just don't get the flavor with it. And so I can eat really healthy right now, and it doesn't matter because I can't taste it. So,
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.